Here's some good news for you. A new bill, AB 2146, is heading to the California State Legislature, where it has a reasonably good chance of being passed. The bill would ban the use of 5 different neonicotinoid insecticides for non-agricultural purposes, like to maintain golf courses or gardens or large lawns. Now, if you listen to my science news segments, neonicotinoids may sound familiar to you. I've mentioned them before, and I've talked about various studies on their ecological consequences. All 5 chemicals banned in this bill, imidacloprid, thiamethoxam, dinotefuran, clothianidin, and acetamiprid, are all very potent insecticides. They're all neonicotinoids. When sprayed on a lawn or a golf course or even an agricultural crop, these insecticides will do a good job protecting the plants from their insect pests. But the problem is that they do that by killing the insects, and they're depleting these insect populations, and it's having huge ecological consequences. Furthermore, whenever these insecticides are sprayed, they're inevitably carried downwind, where they end up coating all manner of wild plants off the crop. And they'll kill all manner of insects that aren't agricultural pests, that aren't invading the crops, that are just living their own life in the wild on wild plants. So because this happens, and because they're so effective at killing insects, neonicotinoids have been discovered to be notoriously damaging to the ecology, and there have been efforts around the world to ban their use. The European Union, for example, has completely banned all neonicotinoid use. The US, on the other hand, still uses neonicotinoids, but this bill, AB 2146, would be a strong step in the right direction by banning their unjustifiable and needless use on lawns, golf courses, and other garden features. Assemblymember Rebecca Bauer introduced the bill in response to data showing that California beekeepers had experienced close to 42% losses in their colonies last year, which, to quote Lucas Rhodes, staff attorney with NRDC's Pollinator Initiative, quote, threaten over $15 billion annually in agricultural production. Many of the state's most valuable crops, including almonds, grapes, and a variety of berries, are dependent, in whole or in part, on pollination by bees and other insects." Unquote. Writing about the bill introduced by Assemblymember Bauer, Ms. Rhodes said, quote, "Its passage in the most populous state in the nation would mark a turning point in the years-long battle to rein in neonics, which contaminate lands and waters nationwide, and threaten bees, birds, and entire ecosystems, and even people." Unquote. Laura Dehan is the state director at Environment California, a nonprofit environmental lobbyist organization. Environment California has endorsed this legislation, and in a public statement, Ms. Dehan said, quote, "Bees, butterflies, and birds all play a critical role in the web of life, from pollinating the flowering plants that make up much of the food we eat to filling our world with beauty and wonder. The drastic decline in their numbers is disturbing and calls for immediate action. Getting rid of neonics on lawns, gardens, and golf courses would provide a lifeline to pollinators and other key species, just in the nick of time." Unquote. So there you go. It's a bit of really good news about a step that's being made in the right direction on a really important environmental issue. Now, we still have a long way to go in the US. There's still a lot of fights that need to be had before we can start banning the use of neonicotinoids on agricultural crops. That's a fight that we'll have to take in the future. But for now, this is a step in the right direction, and every step makes a difference.